Hello fellow haunters, welcome to Grunge Haunts and Props. My name is Chris Leonardo, and today we are going to be making an apocalyptic pile of skulls because I have a bunch of casted skulls that I made and kind of wanted to do something with them. So I looked up a few references online, and here they are. These look, pretty cool, some sort of apocalypse or epic battle. And the victor puts together a pile of their slain foes. So this actually combines a couple projects and videos that I have, previous videos. So I'm adding some of the decaying bones that I sculpted with Loctite, and I have a video that shows you how to do that. Also, the skulls on spikes, I put that right on the top of the pile of skulls. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that, so follow along and enjoy the video. Okay, so the first step for the pile of skulls, we're going to do a little base here and try to shape this chicken wire, which is always fun to work with, into kind of a cone shape that's going to be kind of the base of the pile. That way we don't have to make a million skulls. You want to make this as cost effective as possible. Also, you want to be able to store this right after Halloween's over. And so with just a chicken wire base, we can fold it and just have kind of a top layer of skulls. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this chicken wire, and it's gonna be really fun. So in order to make this a cone, we're going to cut a notch into this, and then we'll just kind of fold it down, attach the two ends of the notch, and see if that's going to work. So that's all good, but we're going to need some supports. Okay, that's pretty much the baseline mound here. So that's what we're going to go with. And we can bend it a little bit, shape it later on to suit our needs. So this is just a little support shell. Now we're going to start making the skulls and putting it on the fabric. Okay, for the yard fabric, we're just going to lay it out and cut a square. So we're just going to measure out 4 feet, and it's already 4 feet wide. So we're going to go ahead and just cut that. And then we are going to cut just one corner off of it. Not quite in the middle. You want a little extra fabric just in case, because we don't have a perfect cone here. So I'm just going to glue this in a couple spots just so that I can work with it, not fully stick it together. So that'll work, at least to get started. So let's go make some skulls. Okay, so we got the fabric on here. We need to kind of realign that and kind of figure out exactly how we want that on here. This is my bin of skulls and half skulls and bone fragments. We casted up all of these in molds. Have a whole nother video on how to cast half skulls, and spikes and all sorts of other things. So if you want to check that out, Just don't have time to show you that on this video. So, so check that video just to see how to make all these skulls. I also have a bunch of bone fragments, you know, femurs and that kind of stuff, and arm bones. Have a whole nother video on how I made these. I just sculpted these with Loctite foam, really easy. And I also did this rib cage here, and you can check that video out as well. So just sculpted it with Loctite foam, super easy. So we're got all that stuff here. We're going to start placing that on the fabric and start building this pile of skulls. So we want this to fold over flat. So I'm just going to spray some Super 77 3M. So we're going to do that on both sides of this fabric, just so it lays down. So you spray both sides and then you wait about 3 minutes. And then wait till it gets tacky to the touch, and then you push it together. I'm going to hold them together tight here. So I'm just pushing 2 pieces of wood together and clamping them down. It should be enough. So we're gonna let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I've got that bin of skulls all separated here. Got my just regular small half skulls, my medium depth half skulls, and then the full skulls there. That way I can just kind of place them quickly. But before I start placing them, I do just a little bit of cleanup on the jaw or the mandibles. We don't want these straight edges, so I'm going to sand those down. And I'm going to take some of these skulls and start doing some dental work on them. Start ripping out some teeth. Okay, I think that's enough to get started. So see how this goes. We're gonna just start gluing these on with some hot glue and see what it looks like. I'm gonna put some lower jaws, mandibles on some of these skulls. Why not the first one? We're gonna make a couple more medium skulls, and then come back and finish the rest of it. Okay, we made some more skulls, and while we were waiting for those to cure, I went ahead and painted, pre-painted all the black on the skulls just for the deep shadows. And I realized as I'm looking at what we've done so far that these are a little too pristine. If you got a pile of apocalyptic skulls, you probably are going to have a bunch of cracks and breaks and half skulls and, you know, just carnage on these skulls. So we're going to start, I guess, ripping some of these apart and just making cracks and breaking them up just so they look not so uniform. So we'll go do that next. Okay, I went through all my skulls and just found all the undesirables, castings that either didn't come out perfect or I kind of rushed. So some of these, you can see all these little divots. This is where I squirted water in the silicone mold to make these cure faster. This is what happens when you do that. Which is normally fine because I just do a black wash and it kind of looks like a cracked skull. So cracks in the skull or age. So normally it's not a big deal, but right now we're just gonna add larger cracks and deformities on these skulls. So I'm mainly going to use the 1-inch hole bit, drill bit, and a Dremel for this. Just it's kind of a bigger job, so I'm not going to. I'll use the X-Acto knife for just some small cracks, but we're going to do major breaks in these. So. Okay, I think that's good to start out with, and start just randomly sticking these on in there, and if we need more, we'll make more. Okay, we are ready to just start gluing these bad boys on. Hopefully we have enough skulls. We're gonna find out. It's a lot more skulls than I thought it was gonna take. So here we go. Okay, so we finally placed all of the skulls. Now we are going to try to strengthen the bonds here with some Loctite adhesive foam. So we're just going to do that in between the skulls and keep working on it. Okay, here we go with the Loctite. Just gonna go in the cracks. Nothing too crazy with it. You just kind of want to build somewhat of a spider web where it's all connected, because this will adhere right to the skulls and kind of keep them in place. So we're just gonna do the cracks and then spray them down and knock them down so they're not just, foam coming out everywhere. Wait a minute. Couple minutes. Okay, it's been about a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and just start knocking this foam down a bit. Just make sure you put water in your hands so the stuff is less likely to stick. You really don't want to get this on the hands if you can help it. I mean, you could wear gloves. It tends to stick to gloves, so I don't use it, but okay, we've filled all the cracks with Loctite, knocked it all down. So we're gonna go ahead and just let this dry, and then we are going to start painting the shadows inside the cracks. before we start adding some accessories. Okay, I'm just gonna paint the cracks and crevices as much as we can with spray paint. And then we might have to use a brush for some of it. And obviously just, black. Okay, we just finished the black paint and then all the cracks. So now we're gonna start gluing on some accessory pieces, some lower jaws and just bone fragments all around and just in random spots. So it shouldn't take too long. Now we're gonna go ahead and paint it with some khaki brown and some dark brown, and then do an antique black wash. Just gonna do light on the dark brown, just a couple of spots here and there. Okay, now we're gonna do the khaki. And this one we're gonna dust it. The brown we did kind of concentrated spots. Khaki we want to dust, not full coverage, but more coverage than the dark brown. Okay, I think we're good. Now we're gonna do the antiquing. Well, I'm really happy with how that turned out. That antiquing really does the trick. So I'm gonna give you just the panoramic here. So it's pretty darn good. I don't know if I really want to do much else to it. Probably just going to put a little bit of burlap and fabric on it, and that's about it. Okay, so we'll go do that next and keep on trucking. This little technique kind of changed up as I did the back side. So we're actually going to do just a little bit of this burlap and we're going to be pulling it apart so that it looks kind of like grass or weeds coming out. And then just a few at a time. So maybe 4 or 5 strands, whatever, 5 to 10. And we're just going to put that on there with some hot glue and then put the fabric on top of it, heat gun that, then we're going to put just a little bit of creepy cloth. And that's the combo I've been using. It's been working well. And we're just doing this to kind of break it up a little bit, add a little bit of color, some green, and something other than just the brown and black. So we'll get started on that, and actually almost finished. So. Okay. We are done. Well, actually, now we're done. I put the skulls on spikes as the topper, and those go pretty well together. And here is the final product. An apocalyptic pile of skulls. Hey, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please like this video and consider subscribing to get notifications anytime we put out new content. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy haunting!